Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of British 50p coins, and some of these tiny pieces of change could actually be worth big money. From the legendary Kew Gardens 50p to hidden Olympic treasures, we'll uncover which designs are the rarest, how much they're selling for, and what makes them so special. So, grab your coin jar and let's see if you've got a valuable 50p coin hiding in your collection. Let's get started. First up, the 50p coin was first introduced in the UK on October 14, 1969, ahead of full decimalization, which took place on February 15, 1971, to replace the 10-shilling note. The version we're looking at is the large, old 50p coin type, with the heptagonal, seven-sided shape and the reverse design of Britannia seated beside a lion. That makes the coin historically interesting. First year, new denomination, new concept. Let's talk design and specs. The 1969 50 new pence coin, catalogued as KM number 913, is made of copper-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, and weighs about 13.5 grams, with a diameter of 30 millimeters and a thickness of about 2.45 millimeters. Its reverse features the design by Christopher Ironside of Britannia with trident and shield, and the obverse features Queen Elizabeth II with the legend DG Reg FD, De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor. Importantly, the version with new pence on the reverse was only used initially, 1969 up to early 1970s, before 50p later. This is part of what makes the 1969 batch of interest. What about how many were made? The mintage figure for 1969 is high. About 188.4 million coins were struck in 1969, according to the published figures. Because of that large number, this coin is not especially rare in purely numeric terms, i.e., quantity minted, compared to some later or error coins. That means that while first year and historically significant, the mass production makes high values less likely just because of mintage. Now, condition is everything when it comes to value. If you have one described as uncirculated, often abbreviated UNC, that means the coin has never been used in general circulation and shows little or no wear. The luster, surface shine, sharpness of detail, especially on Britannia's lion and shield, and freedom from scratches/handling marks are key. Coins in mint state or graded MS, mint state, will fetch higher premiums. Without wear, the first-year 1969 coin is more desirable than a heavily circulated example. So, what kind of value are we talking about? Listings on various coin markets show a spread. For example, some uncirculated 1969 50p coins are offered for about $20 to $30 in online listings. On sites like Etsy, certain UNC examples with nice patina are shown in the $100 plus range, though those may reflect premium condition and strong demand. One Reddit collector put it succinctly, "It's not really worth much to a collector." There were 188.4 million of the 1969 50p that were made. So, while it is collectible, one should temper expectations. For you in Pakistan, Skardu/Gilgit-Baltistan, or anywhere else, converting values matters. Suppose an uncirculated 1969 50p coin is listed for $25. At current USD to PKR rates, that might translate to a few thousand Pakistani rupees, depending on the exchange rate at the time. If you have 30 such coins, about 30 mint, that means you have 30 times $25 equals $750, roughly, if all are truly uncirculated and premium condition. But real-world sale price may be lower, and you must consider shipping, grading, buyer demand, authentication, and condition variation. Here are some practical tips if you're buying, selling, or holding. Verify that the coin is genuinely uncirculated. Check for wear, scratches, toning, luster. Ensure it is the 1969 version. Look for new pence on the reverse heptagonal shape. No mint mark is typical for UK coins of that era. The UK's main mint didn't always use mint marks. Check that the date is clear and the edges consistent. For 30 coins, catalog them, take good photos, maybe group by condition, e.g., 10 top grade, 10 mid-grade, 10 common. Be cautious about expecting huge values. Because of high mintage, the market might only pay a moderate premium unless condition is exceptional or there is a certified graded example. Even though the 1969 50p coin isn't ultra-rare, it remains important to collectors for several reasons. First-year issue, classic design, part of the UK's decimalisation story. It's a tangible piece of shift from shillings/pence to new pence, and a nice heptagonal coin. Holding 30 of them gives you a solid base collection or inventory for trading, resale, or future value. Condition will matter a lot. 30 coins in average uncirculated may be nice, but 30 in gem/ungraded MS might be significantly better. If you have a 1969 UK 50 new pence coin in genuinely uncirculated condition, you're holding something of interest, but it's not a guaranteed jackpot. With around 188 million minted, value is modest unless condition is top tier. If you have 30 of them and they're all excellent, you might be looking at an aggregate value in the hundreds of US dollars, or more depending on condition and market, rather than thousands. If you'd like, I can walk you through how to grade them, identify condition tiers, and check the most recent sold prices from auctions. Next up, the 50p coin was introduced in the UK in 1969 as part of decimalisation. The 1976 issue carried the Britannia design by Christopher Ironside. According to sources, the mintage for the 1976 50p was about 43,746,500 pieces. It is made of cupronickel, weighs about 13.5 g, and has the familiar heptagonal shape. In many British decimal coins there is no separate mint mark like you may find in other countries' coins, e.g. USD, S, etc. For the 1976 50p, there is no distinct mint mark on the standard circulating pieces. So, without mint mark, simply means it's the standard issue, not a special variant minted somewhere else or with a privy mark. It's the ordinary circulating coin of that year. When a coin is described as uncirculated, it means it has seen little to no circulation where, basically like new from the mint. For extra precision, terms like brilliant uncirculated, BU, may be used, or professional grading, MS, 64, MS, 65 etc., if certified. Because where reduces value, an uncirculated 1976 50p will command more than one that has been in general circulation. According to a UK coin value guide website, a 1976 50p in BU/uncirculated condition is worth about £3 in standard ungraded uncirculated form. Another price guide lists certified MS 64 graded examples for $116 is almost equal to £90 to £100 for a high-grade example. So, for a standard uncirculated piece you might expect only a few pounds. For a premium, certified high-grade example, much more. Let's assume by you mean a high-grade, near-perfect condition, say MS 64 or similar. The $116 US value from the guide gives us a baseline. At current exchange rates, for example £1 is almost equal to $1.25, you might estimate an ungraded uncirculated coin being $4 to $5 based on £3. A graded 40 mint condition piece, i.e., very high grade, could go into the $100 to $120 range. Of course, actual sale prices vary hugely depending on individual coin condition and grading. Even though 43 million pieces is a large mintage, which limits rarity, the design is common and many pieces survive. With such a high number produced, the scarcity is not very high for standard uncirculated coins, hence the relatively modest value of a few pounds to dollars unless the coin is in top condition or certified. The mintage figure again, 43.7 million. Several factors can increase the value of such a coin: outstanding grade, perfect or near-perfect surfaces, full original luster, certification by a professional grading service, e.g., Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or others, error or variety, though none widely known for this date and provenance. If you find one in brilliant condition and slabbed, you might beat the general value guideline. If you have a 1976 50p and want to assess it, check for surface marks, scratches, toning, where on high points of the design, Britannia's shield, lion, queen's hair. Compare to known uncirculated examples. If you're aiming for mint condition 40, assuming MS grade, you may want professional certification. Also verify authenticity, weight, diameter, edge, alloy. And remember that no mint mark means standard issue. Some special issues/variants may have additional markings, but for 1976 UK 50p that typically doesn't apply. If you plan to buy or sell, get it graded if you believe the coin is exceptional. That grading can substantiate the higher value. Research recent realized sales rather than asking prices. Consider selling via reputable auction houses or specialist dealers rather than just general marketplaces, where expectations may be unrealistic. For buyers, check condition carefully. Know that most examples are modest in value, so pay accordingly. In summary, the 1976 UK 50 pence coin is an interesting and collectible piece of decimal coinage, but not ultra-rare in standard condition due to its high mintage. If uncirculated and especially if well graded, it might reach $100 to $120 or more in exceptional cases. Today, though typical ungraded uncirculated pieces sell for only a few pounds/$5-10. The key to higher value is condition, certification, and maybe rarity/variety next up. The British 50p coin was introduced in 1969, the large-size version, as a decimal coin worth ½ of a pound sterling. The 1978 dated version continues the design with Britannia on the reverse, seated figure of Britannia alongside a lion, and on the obverse the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. According to listings, the composition is copper-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, with a mass of 13.5 g and a diameter of 30 millimeters. Now to the 1978 mintage and how common the coin is. For the 1978 date of this 50p, the recorded mintage is 72,005,500 coins. That's a large number, meaning the coin is widely available in collector and circulation grade condition. Because of the high mintage, rarity due to low numbers is not a major factor for this particular date in its standard circulation version. Next, what about value in uncirculated condition? According to reputable sources, a brilliant uncirculated BU condition coin for the 1978 50p is worth about £3 in the UK. Converting to US dollars, roughly, depending on exchange rate, that might be about US $3.70 to US $4.50 as of current rates. Note, market prices can vary depending on condition, grade, and demand. To expand on condition and grading, for coins like this, uncirculated means the coin has never been used in everyday transactions and retains its original mint finish, with minimal handling marks. Brilliant uncirculated implies very high quality. When you go higher to certified mint state grades, MS 63, MS 64, etc., you might see slightly higher values. For example, some price guides list MS 63 for 1978 at about £2 UK for uncirculated. So while the coin isn't extremely valuable, excellent condition matters. But what about coins without a mint mark or with special varieties? In the UK decimal coinage context, many coins don't bear a distinguishing mint mark, unlike some US coins or special issues. In general, for this 1978 50p, the standard version is what most collectors refer to, the normal no mint mark issue. Because it's widely available, its value remains modest. Be cautious of listings that suggest huge premium values without credible evidence of a rarity or error variety. Let's talk briefly about potential for error coins or varieties. While this 1978 50p standard issue is common, collectors always look out for misstrikes, proof versions, presentation sets, or coins with damage or unusual features, which sometimes inadvertently become more valuable. But unless you have one of those unusual versions, the standard uncirculated coin fetches modest sums. It's always wise to have coins graded or verified if you believe you have a special variety. If you're considering selling or obtaining one of these coins, some tips. Check the surface carefully for any marks, scratches, toning, or wear. A truly uncirculated coin will show sharp details on Britannia, clear reed/edges, crisp lettering. Compared to known examples/images. Keep in mind that the face value is 50 pence, 50p, so even at £3 or so, you're getting 6 times face value roughly. That's not a windfall, but it's better than just spending it. If you're buying one as a collector, make sure you're getting at least uncirculated quality. Many coins out there in change are circulated with wear, and those are typically worth only face value or slightly more. Now for the US dollar equivalent, based on £3 as a guide value, converting that, exchange rates vary, gives approximately US dollar 3.50, US $4.50, as noted earlier. On some marketplace sites, coins in unknown condition or circulated may sell for even less. Some listings show under US $2. For example, a listing on a coin marketplace shows a circulated 1978 50p at about US $1.83. So condition makes a real difference. The 1978 UK 50p coin is a solid piece for a decimal coin collection. It has a large mintage, meaning it's not rare, so you shouldn't expect huge values unless you have an extremely high grade or an unusual variant. In uncirculated condition, you might see around £3, is almost equal to US $4 currently. But that doesn't mean it's worthless. It's a piece of British coin history with a Britannia design and is a great example of decimal coinage from that era. If you have one in top condition, it's worth holding on to and perhaps getting it graded if you're curious about listing it. Thanks for watching.